The ground war has begun in the Persian Gulf. Stay informed. News at the speed of sound and your reaction only here.
Subject, and there wasn't a God, I'd probably feel like you do. I'd probably be disgusted about the idea of people doing that, but I would probably reason the same way you are right now, that it doesn't matter, it's their, lifestyle, leave it up to them. But the fact that there is a God, and we have incontrovertible evidence to sustain that, I
No,
think.
you don't, sir. I'm afraid you don't.
Well, just look above you, look around you.
Yes, sir, I can look above me and I can look around. As a matter of fact, I can look around me and I just see a horrible, filthy war where, hundreds of thousands of people are suffering.
Yeah.
So that proves there's a God?
Oh, no.
No.
That proves
so does that prove there isn't a God?
That proves that there are a lot of people that don't believe that there's a God.
Oh, I see.
And that there's a lot of people.
Well, as a matter of fact, sir, I can look around me and see a lot of people over in Northern Ireland who fervently believe in God, who kill each other.
Sure.
Does that prove there's a God, sir?
No.
No. Does it disprove there's a God?
That proves that there's a lot of people.
No, sir. It doesn't prove anything one way or the other about God. Just as looking up into the sky proves nothing one way or the other about God.
Oh.
Nothing. You believe there is a God, sir. There is no proof that there is a God. I support your right to believe it, but do not insult my intelligence by telling me that because there are mountains and trees and stars and babies and flowers that's proof that there's the God of the Bible. It isn't.
I think that the Bible itself is the best proof that there is a God.
Right, sir. A book that says this book is true.
No, I think
Code 2 all the way. Code 2 all the way. 591-8900, 591-8900. To the southwest side. Hi there, Southwest. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello, Meadow.
Hi.
My comment is that I think that Mr. Saddam Hussein is well and will continue to be very much in power. Furthermore, I think that the night war was really a setup by all involved. And I think that if people really wake up and get a life, Mr. Bush should be impeached. You do have a great show. If H. Ross Perot says that there shouldn't have been a war, that's good enough for me. Bye.
Another code 10, 591-8900, 591-8900. I think you will find that there are far more code 10s on Saturday night than during the other days of the week. It just works out that way. 591-8900. This time it is Peoria. Hi there, Peoria. You're on the FWLS.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
I told him I was going to talk about the war, but the subject went back to Bible and your beliefs and what's the best topic? Or is that my job?
That's your job, sir. Code 1 here.
Okay. Talking about the war. We were talking about that before, and I talked about that on WLS, that the Egyptians should have taken the lead in this ground war, and they should have been given a lot more authority and had a lot higher profile, and we should have had a lower profile. Now I think we can see some of the problems that we've got already because our profile was too high, and even though everything turned out much better than we thought it would, or anybody thought it would, we still got problems because the white Americans are over there where the Arabs should be. And I think if...
white Americans.
Well, white and black, anyway, the race is not... They were not Arabs. It'd be nice if the Arabs were running the show and we were just supporting them rather than us having a high profile and killing so many people. I mentioned that there's been an awful lot of people killed over there. Soldiers, maybe they weren't on the right side of the border and they maybe deserved to die, but what we need now, the problems we're going to have, public relations over there and everything, is going to be exacerbated by the fact that we're having too high a profile, and the Arabs over there, particularly the Egyptians, are the ones that we should be giving the ball to, and that we should be asking for the decisions on most of these points. And if he's gassing his people it should be the Egyptians that should make a lot of these decisions and be forthcoming with what they think we ought to do about it, instead of just being left to Hussein and a few ragtag guerrillas to fight it out to the death. There may not be very many people left if they're evenly enough balanced. So somebody's got a role to play over there, and it'd be nice if we start putting forward the Egyptians. I don't think there's anybody else that really fits the bill over there. Nobody else is at peace with Israel. None of the Arabs. Turkey maybe should have a higher profile. But this is the sort of thing that if we start giving them more, puffing them up, making them look good, and giving them more authority, the whole Middle East can settle down. Until that time, it's always going to be us and the Israelis and the Arabs.
Yeah, well, yeah, I get the idea there. I got to run. Before I do, I just have to say you're really a neat guy, 591-8900, really a neat guy. 591-8900.
Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh. Do you believe... I mean, you have to believe it because it's true. There are actually some people in this country who are mad that our troops are coming home victorious. How can you watch this and be cynical about it? But, my friends, there are more people in this country than you'd care to realize who are. But as you watch the returning heroes this weekend, keep in mind that we'll talk about it and a whole bunch of other things Monday at 1 here on WLS Talk Radio 890.
Now's the time to act. While
Northwest side is Northwest. You're on the air at WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah.
How you doing? Bob, you're talking about the president before, okay? Did you vote for the president or what?
Did I vote for president? Yes, I did vote for president in the last election, sir. Yes, I did.
Did he do a good job or what?
Did who do a good job?
What do you think?
What do I think? Wait a second. You're getting too far ahead of me here. Did who do a good job?
No, I'm talking about the president, okay? Did he do a good job in the Gulf?
The one I voted for?
Right.
Oh, no, the one I voted for lost.
Oh, you lost?
Yeah.
Who did you vote for?
Dukakis.
Dukakis?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the president.
No, Dukakis didn't win. He's not the president.
No, I'm talking
George
about
Bush won. He's the president.
Right. But did you vote for him?
For George Bush? No, I voted for Dukakis.
Okay. Now, do you think Bush did a good job in the Gulf or what?
Got a code 6 here. He didn't go over there. Well, he went over at Thanksgiving, but he wasn't over there, sir. He stayed at home.
He stayed at home, right?
Yes.
But the opinion is, did you think he did a good job in the Gulf?
He wasn't there, sir. He stayed in the White House.
He stayed in the White House.
Right.
I see that. But I still just say that I think he did a beautiful job there. And I think he was a powerful man. And I think he did the job that should have been done years ago.
The job that should have been done years ago. Which job was that?
Well, I think we should have went over and cut those people a long time ago and showed them that we didn't take no...
Oh, sir, then you're in total disagreement with George Bush. Total disagreement with George Bush. Because George Bush, up until August the 1st, was friends. He liked what Saddam Hussein was doing.
Oh, he did?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Right up until August 1st. Technically the 2nd, but through August the 1st.
What do you think about Bush today, though, really?
The same as I did yesterday and, 10 years ago. My opinion hasn't changed of George Bush in the least.
Well, I don't know what to say, but I'm going to tell you one thing. I still just say he's a hell of a president, okay?
Well, sir, when you don't know what to say, you're supposed to say fraud.
What?
Thank you. 591-8900, 591-8900. It's like getting squirrel's teeth out of the palm of your hand. Let's see here. To Homewood it is. Hi there, Home. You're on the air at WLS.
Yes. Bob?
Yes.
Yeah, how you doing? I'm calling in reference to a person who made a comment that he thought hundreds of thousands of Saddam's people, that he killed them, and that he thought that the CIA should go in there and kill Saddam.
No, the Secret Service, sir.
Yeah. Oh, the Secret Service, he said.
Yes.
Maybe even the PTA could go in there, huh?
Possibly.
Yeah, well...
Or the MTA.
Anyway, I think that any time in the history of the world where one nation has gotten out of control, that the world has had to go in there and do something about it. I think that's pretty much what George Bush did. I mean, something had to be done about Saddam Hussein.
Oh, why?
Well, eventually he would have taken over all of those Arab nations. It might have taken 2, 3, 4, 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But just like in World War II, something had to be done about Hitler. I mean, Hitler had expectations of taking over all of Europe, you know, and furthering that all the way, probably eventually to the United States, and, you know, something had to be done.
Even though he had no way of getting here to take it over.
Well...
Yeah, well, details.
I think that what George Bush did, and then allowing time to pass and giving him time to get out of Kuwait and doing every diplomatic thing that he could, I think he did the right thing. You know, I think history just repeats itself.
Yeah, sometimes people do too, and code 9 there for sure. 591-890-591-8900. Let's see here. Okay, Uptown. Hi there, Up. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out all these codes. I guess you got to listen for several weeks before you can figure them all out.
No, you'll never figure them out. You have to send away for them.
Oh, okay. Oh, I think I got one code 10. I guess that's code 10 is somebody is using some mind-altering substance.
No, it's not what it is at all.
No, well, anyway, what I was talking about, I think, in my opinion, what we've done so far is to the threat of the use of chemical weapons to put down the civil unrest in Iran. I agree with what we've done so far to send out a warning. I would be against doing anything further.
Well, then why bother with a warning?
It's a token, and maybe, who knows? Maybe they might heed it. You know, there's always a chance. But as far as, I mean, if there's civil unrest, you assume that people are breaking the law on both sides. And you would assume that the government in power is going to have to do something about the people that are breaking the law. I mean, we know here people have been killed and murdered by law officials, you know, and sometimes it wasn't right. I don't think we're getting a total picture of what's going on. Every journalist that I've listened to, not when they're reporting the news, but just when they're talking personally, they seem at the very least to be just a little bit upset that at the very least they're not getting enough information, and sometimes they believe they're being disinformed. And you know, we have such strong opinions, and yet I don't really think we know what's going on.
Thank you very much. 591-8900. Palos Heights. Please call back. Please. I was going to take your call next time. I deliberately didn't take it because I only had a minute and a half into the news. Please, Palos Heights, call back. Please.
All the support that we got on the way in was just wonderful. So many people out supporting us, as it has been throughout the whole operation.
Since I'm a young adult, I'm 19 years of age. I used to listen to mostly music radio stations, but ever since I listened to your show, I listen to more of you. Okay, and I'd like just to make a quick comment about homosexuality. I think nature proves that a man's body was not meant to take male organs.
Well, I beg your pardon, nature doesn't prove that at all. In the animal kingdom, it's very common.
For a male and a male?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's just my point of view. But I also like to say that education, getting into college, I think they should reduce the standards of getting in and just let everyone in and get their own education and just educate these people. That's it.
You think they should lower the standards and let everybody in and let them get their own educations?
Well, I think they should get rid of the test for getting into college. I think if a
having a rough time with those tests,
they should be able to get their education.
Are you having a rough time with the tests?
Yeah, I'm going pre-med right now, so.
Mm-hmm. But those tests were pretty tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are tough.
Doing a lot of studying.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoy your show.
You're an okay kid. 591-8900, 591-8900. Like that one, huh, Regina? You're going to hurt yourself in there. I gotta see her just diving for the sheet, the Mad Dog Lassiter's secret word list. Every time she thinks she hears one. Where were we? Okay, the South Side this time. Hi, South. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? My name is Mary Buttles. I live by Archer in Harlem. And, you know, I'm kind of disgusted with our government because they sold Pearl Harbor to Japan. I think of all the men that died there.
They sold Pearl Harbor to Japan.
I read it in the paper. They sold Pearl Harbor to Japan. I just think all the people we lost
which paper did you read that the
that was in the
government
Tribune or
had?
the Times.
Tribune or the Times.
Yeah. Because I only read those two papers. And they said that Japan bought Pearl Harbor. And I just wonder what's going to come out of this little war we had. You know, or what about the people that fought in the Pearl Harbor War? For them to turn around and sell it to Japan. You never heard that?
No, I didn't. Code 1.
Well, would you ask your callers? And I'm a courier. I listen to you all the time. Tonight I'm off, and I have you on at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I would appreciate if somebody would call in to say they heard it, because I read it in the paper, and I talked to other people about it.
And those other people that you talked with about it, they heard about it, too.
You know, they bought Mexico, and Japan's buying everything, and I just think it's sad that we sold them Pearl Harbor.
And we sold them Mexico, too?
Yeah, part of Mexico. And,
damn.
You know, I don't know. Maybe I think the Bible says the yellow man will rule the earth. And Japan's yellow.
Code 1 and Code 2.
I'm sorry. I hope I didn't bother anyone by saying that. Just something I heard. And you're a talk show, so you got to hear what I hear. Thank you for letting me bother you, and I'm going to let you go so you can call. You know, maybe a caller will come in and call in and say that they heard that, too. And I just think the people that fight in the war, God bless them.
Live long and prosper. 591-8900, 591-8900. By the way, a couple of things, since it's, pretty much near the midpoint of the show, a little bit past the point of no return. This show may not be what it appears to be. There may be things embedded in this show, secret words and phrases. There may not be, that you will have no way of knowing about or understanding unless you send away for the Mad Dog Lassiter secret word list. Simply, what's the address? The Mad Dog Lassiter Club, WLS Radio, 190 North State Street, Chicago, Illinois, 60601. Self-addressed, stamped envelope, please. Okay, apparently some people didn't hear at the top of the show. I got up very, very early this morning, for a Saturday morning for me, very early. It was about 8:45 or 9:15. I don't remember which, but one or the other. I'm feeling pretty damn decent. Had a nice supper. We had pizza. Mary's a little bit listless today, but other than that, in good spirits. We had a very calm, quiet day at home, and the car's running fine, so there's really no need whatsoever to ask when the conversation starts. Which one will it be? Oak Park this time. Hi, Oak. You're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, good evening, Bob.
Good evening.
Boy, that last call, that was a doozy, huh?
Code 1 and a Code 2.
Whew. Boy, well, first of all, the Bible says nothing about a yellow man ruling the earth. Japan hasn't bought Mexico. I don't think they bought Pearl Harbor. Geez, when they bought Rockefeller Center, I mean...
well, lady says she read it in the paper, sir.
I don't know.
And talks to a lot of people all the time about it who also read it.
Yeah, I think she bases most of her beliefs on maybe just rumor and gossip. Maybe I suggest just doing a little more reading for herself. I think if they bought Pearl Harbor, we'd probably be over there bombing them right now.
Come on, sir. She was a fine gal.
Yeah, she was okay. Bob, your intro music, the Kenny G music, it's great music. Were you using that when you were down in Florida?
No, what I was using in Florida was a cut-off of some, what is known in the business as a production package. It's special music that you buy and license for your market. It was very reminiscent of Saturday Night Live kind of intro music, a lot of saxophone and that kind of stuff. And when I came here, I couldn't bring it with me because the station doesn't, own that package or have rights to that package. So no, it was not.
What kind of music are you into, like new wave or jazz?
To tell you the truth, I don't really listen to a hell of a lot of music, but when I do, I really prefer what I would call commercial jazz, more melodic jazz, and even with more of a Latin rhythm to it.
What?
Yeah, I'm a sucker for Latin jazz.
Never figured you for that. Do you ever have plans on changing that music?
Yeah, I plan on it constantly. I'm just too damn lazy. Every now and then I'll search around for something, but nothing has caught my ear yet.
Have you ever heard Flying?
Flying? By who?
By the Fat Beatles.
I'm sure I have, but it doesn't ring a bell with me.
Magical Mystery Tour. It's just a little short little song on the album. It's just an instrumental, the only instrumental song they ever did.
I know I've heard it, but I have no recollection of it at all. I'd have to go back and listen to it.
I thought I heard you say one time you were a Beatles fan.
Oh, I'm a major Beatles fan, but I was not a major Magical Mystery Tour fan. I don't have the album.
Oh, well, check it. It's a great song. It'd be perfect for intro music.
I'll check it out.
It's called Flying. It's the only instrumental they ever did, and it actually almost, you seem like you're flying, when you hear the music.
Well, when I worked in Tampa at night, I used to use, I had 2 or 3 pieces of music for every hour that I used. But again, it was at night, and working at night is a whole different shit than in the daytime. And I used a lot more music. For some reason, the station is still a little uncomfortable with using a lot of music.
Well, it's basically easy, what he wants to use.
Yeah, but he doesn't use a lot. Very short clips.
Yeah, right. Do you have to get permission from those companies, record companies, to use that intro music, or what?
No, it's not. Well, yes and no. Not necessarily in the way that you might think. You have a BMI or an ASCAP license, which gives you the right to broadcast music that is licensed under BMI or ASCAP, and virtually all commercial music is. And you send in a monthly fee, and at the end of the year, they divvy that up amongst their members based upon reports from radio stations and bars and stores that play music. It's a very complicated formula. It has to do with how long you've been a BMI or ASCAP member and how many times your song got played and so forth and so on. So in that way, yes, we have to have permission.
Have you seen that movie Talk Radio?
Yeah.
Well, that was terrible, wasn't it?
No.
You liked it?
Did I like it?
Yeah.
No. But I don't think it was a terrible movie.
I thought it was just so, the talk show host was just such a jerk in that movie.
Really?
Wasn't it? Didn't you think so?
I
mean, they really didn't get into any issues in any really intelligent conversation. It was just him screaming. Right? I think if they, just would have maybe spent a little more time devoted to some really interesting conversation, it just would have made it, that's the movie a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
The guy was just like a demagogue, like a Morton Downey, just screaming. I didn't think he was representative of what a talk show host should be at all.
Okay.
I think Oliver Stone really dropped the ball on that one.
Well, no, he didn't drop the ball, so he bought a play and a book, and and combined the two of them together, and that's the way it was.
Okay, Bob, well, great talking to you.
Hey, you're a swell guy. 591-8900, 591-8900. To Hyde Park it is. Hi there, Hyde. You're on air at WLS.
Hi, how you doing? I was just calling because I heard one caller talk about how it's the United States' responsibility or responsibility of countries all over the world to intervene in countries when countries go wild and they start taking over other people's territory, etc., that type of thing. Hello?
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting that you would say that when you have the state of South Africa, which is invading Mozambique and oppressing its own people, and you still haven't seen Boycott 1, haven't seen the United States troops surrounding the country, and you haven't seen any of those brave words from George Bush, because basically the United States economy is supported by the work and the resources of the African continent. And also, I think it's...
It is?
Yeah, it is.
In what way?
Because if you look at the African continent, you'll easily see that it's the most resource-rich continent in the world.
So how is that supporting the United States?
Because United States capitalism was built on the slave trade from Africa. If you read the book called The World in Africa by W.B. Du Bois.
No, United States capitalism, sir, was built on the backs of Eastern European immigrants.
No, it wasn't. It was built on, what about the backs of the slaves?
Sir,
the slaves were...
Sir, this is not an agricultural economy. It was
at the same
industrial
time,
economy that was built on the backs of Eastern Europeans.
If you look at the birth of Lloyd's of London, it got most of its beginning from dealing with the slave trade. Most of the European countries prospered greatly from the slave trade. If you read a book entitled How Europe Underdeveloped Africa by Walter Ross.
Well, yes, sir, that was all true. Yes, sir, that was all true 400 years ago. But then there was something called there was something called the Industrial Revolution, sir, and that's where the great fortunes were made. The great fortunes do not come from the plantations.
Well, the great fortunes that started the country on its way, and that provided the labor for this country came off the backs of black people. And there's no way to deny that, because if you look at the amount of people that were drained from Africa, the great amount of slaves that were taken, you can't deny the fact that if it weren't for Africa, then all of the European nations and all of the...
Well, sir, you just seem to be a little bit colorblind here, because...
It's not colorblind.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I was in the middle of a sentence. Because you seem to fail to understand that the capitalists that you are referring to, and they do indeed live, couldn't have cared less about the color of the skin of the people they exploited.
Yes, they did.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir, they didn't. The only people that care about the color of the skin are the exploited.
No, that's not...
See, the whites who hate the blacks and the blacks who hate the whites.
No.
Very, very few super wealthy people could care less about skin color.
Oh, yes, they do. That's why they exploit Africa.
No, sir, they don't exploit Africa. They exploit whoever the hell they can.
But you can't deny the fact that Africa is what...
No, sir, any more than you can deny that they exploited... Any more, sir, than you can deny that they exploited European immigrants.
No,
neither of us can deny that, sir.
European immigrants held in slavery?
Yes, sir, they were.
They were not.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon, sir. I beg your pardon, sir. I beg your pardon, sir. They were held in slavery. They weren't traded. They weren't traded, and there weren't bills of sale for them.
Oh, I see.
They were held in economic slavery,
economic
sir.
Slavery. Okay,
yes.
That's the slavery that they imposed.
And as a matter of fact, turn his volume down. And as a matter of fact, sir, while they didn't have bills of sale, they did frequently. Now we'll hang up on it, because damn it, you're not going to talk while I'm talking, and so you've lost out on it, fella. But as a matter of fact, they also frequently wielded clubs and guns against them. The European economic slaves, when they got ideas about forming unions. So, sir, you're right. I can't deny that Africans were exploited by the capitalists. You're right, sir. And you can't deny that Europeans were. The only people, sir, who really get bummed out about race are the exploited. There are very, very, very few wealthy men in the Klan. There are a hell of a lot of blue-collar workers. There are very, very few. George Bush does not belong to the Klan. Donald Trump does not belong to the Klan. Lee Iacocca does not belong to the Klan. None of the major network people belong to the Klan. A lot of beer-drinking, blue-collar guys who have been exploited belong to the Klan. They hate niggers. And a hell of a lot of black people belong to black separatist organizations because they hate honkies. And the sad fact of the matter is, they have a hell of a lot more in common than they know. Sorry, guy, that's the way it is.
WLN Talk Radio 890.
I'm Captain.
Well, here's Bob Lassiter.
Oh, I have some very distressing news that was just given to me. I have been informed that unscrupulous people have been calling my board operator and producer, begging, pleading with her to read the codes and the various different secret words and phrases. No way in hell. No way in hell. I mean, just think about this, okay? Let's be practical about this. I do this for a living. Okay? I do this for a living. This is damn good shtick. I mean, this is shtick and a half. To have stumbled upon this idea is beyond belief. And if you think I'm going to give it away, you're crazy. We will make this list available to anybody that wants it. But you've got to send in a self-addressed stamped envelope. And then you'll know totally what's going on. I know it's going to be difficult for the next couple of days until you can, get it together to send in the letter, and then we get it together to send it back to you. I know it's going to make it difficult. But, I mean, look at it from my point of view. I mean, here I am pushing the hell out of this. You guys are going crazy trying to figure out, what's he saying? What's he really mean? This is great shtick, man. Don't you dare ask that lady to read them off to you. No way. Okay, back to the phones we go to the Southwest side. It is, hi there, Southwest. You're on the air, WLS.
With a great deal of inspiration, Mr. Lassiter, I have written a song that honors you.
Oh, that's very touching.
This is called the Mad Dog theme song. A great deal of inspiration and hard work went into this.
Are you prepared to sing it for us?
Yes, sir.
Please.
Thank you. He's a friend to those who need a friend. They call him Mad Dog. When he senses fear, he is always here. They call him Mad Dog. Mad Dog. Mad Dog. He will stand by you when you're feeling blue. His name is Mad Dog.
God, you know what you were saying that I was getting this mental image of myself in gray tights with a yellow and red cape and a great big MD on my chest,
Yes, sir. It was fairly nice, and I felt inspired.
I'm really touched, and I'm very flattered.
Well, I just thought I would share it with you, Bob.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Bob.
5918900 to the west side. It is, hi there, West. You're on the air, WLS.
Oh, hi, Bob.
Hi, how you doing?
I'd like to try my luck at the audition.
At the audition? Audition for what?
Oh, for the new theme song.
Are you serious? You have written another theme song?
Yes, I have. Yes, sir. Here it goes.
Okay.
Call him Bob, or call him a jerk, or tell him he's an idiot, insecure, or tell him he's fat, or tell him he's bald, even tell him that his mother is out on call. Oh, Mad Dog Bob, what would they ever do without you? It's so sad, Bob, so many people picking on you every day. I hear some people like to wrap their arms around you. I hear some others like to take your head apart. Here's the second verse. Well, if you dare to call and get to the point, you better not speak with a shaky voice. Don't compliment, cause he already knows. You don't need to call him to brown your nose. Cause he makes in the multiples of 100,000. And he's got a contract made of iron ore. Someday you just might find yourself panhandling, or you might find yourself up on top of the world, something like that. I'm nervous.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm nervous. What do you think?
I think it's great.
All right, take it.
I think it's great. Live long and prosper. 5918900, 5918900. To the south side, it is either south. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Hello.
I've got a question I wanted to ask you.
By the way, in the future, caller, this here is also a code 1. In the future, you will actually get on a hell of a lot faster if you're honest with the producer. So keep that in mind in the future. Please go ahead now with your call.
What I wanted to ask you was, have you ever had sex with an apple pie?
No, I haven't. But don't ask me about a half a pound of liver. 591-8900, 591-8900 the South Side. South, you're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, I want to make a comment. Bush said in his speech to the joint session of Congress and the Senate that now we can put Vietnam behind us. And I'm curious as to why the U.S. keeps talking about putting Vietnam behind them when they won the war in Vietnam. Now the media try to make the American public think that the U.S. lost the war over there, but they actually won the war. Anytime a big industrial power like the United States fight a small country like Vietnam, it takes everything Vietnam got to fight a power like the U.S. Every ounce. Same way as Iraq. And the U.S. killed over 1 million Vietnamese. They supposedly lost 50,000 soldiers. So how in the world can the U.S. say they lost the war? Now, can I ask you a question, sir?
Certainly.
If you was that man in California that got beat like that, well, how much money would you sue for?
Everything I could possibly hope to get.
I mean, I'm just trying to put a figure from you, you know. I mean,
tens of millions. I would sue for tens of millions.
I mean, at least you have to start at 1 billion. I mean, you think if somebody came to me and said, look, if we were going to beat you like that, how much would you charge? You would have to start at $1 billion. But 35 million? That's chicken feed to what was done to this man. I can't understand that. One last thing. That speech Bush made to the joint session of Congress, it is so sick. It is sad to know that all these people in there are supposed to be the leadership or a country that's supposed to be the cradle of democracy. All these hypocrites sitting in there clapping for this land man and his hypocritical politics. It is sad to know that this is the brain trust of the United States.
Thank you very much. That's a code 5 all the way. To Roselle it is. Hi there, Roselle. You're on the air, WLS.
Hey, Bob.
Hi.
Hi. Do you have pet rabbits?
Do I have pet rabbits? No, I don't.
Okay, I do. I just got a couple behind me here. They're very cute.
Wouldn't surprise me in the least.
True?
No, I just sound like the kind of guy to me that would have pet
I
rabbits.
love rabbits. You want to talk about hockey now?
Sure, if you'd like to.
Okay, let's talk about the Blackhawks.
Okay.
Now, do you think Stu Grimson can be one of the top players compared to, let's say, Dino Logic or Bob Probert?
They're not hockey players.
Yes, they are. Bob Probert, Joey Kocher, you hear of John Cordish, Stu Grimson, Mike Caluso are on the Blackhawks, Dave Manson, but they tried to cut down his fighting this year. What do you think? Do you think Stu Grimson's got the ability to become a top fighting prospect?
Frankly, I think anybody that goes to hockey games or follows the sport is
I've got over 600 fights taped.
is not playing with a full deck.
Sir, I've got over 600 fights taped over the last 6 or 7 years. I've got Cordick versus Troy Crowder this year. If there's anybody who can beat Probert, it's either Troy Crowder or John Cordick. Although he's been suspended from the Capitals this year.
Code 10.
I think you got a really neat show. And now, I would just want to tell you, a couple weeks ago, you let me take a couple calls as a host, because it's my lifelong dream to be on the radio, and I just want to thank you.
You're quite welcome. It's my lifelong dream to make dreams come true for OK Kids.
Okay, bye.
Take care. 591-8900, the telephone number 591-8900 brings us to the end of the second hour. One more hour yet to go on this, the Saturday night special. The Saturday night special for March the 9th, 1991, so-called because there are 3 reasons for it. 1, it's cheap. 2, it's dangerous in the wrong hands. And 3, it ought to be outlawed anyway. The Saturday night special with me, Lassiter. Mad Dog Lassiter. Mad Dog is back. No two ways about it. Whatever you do, do not venture very far. We'll check in with the ABC Radio Network for the news at the top of the hour. I will frantically run to the little boy's room and see if I can get back on time without being all out of breath. And then we shall head fearlessly into the dreaded third and final hour right here at the radio station, WLS Talk Radio 890.
This is WLS Talk Radio 890.
WLS Chicago.
The time at the tone is 11 o'clock.
Is using chemical weapons against Iraqi rebels. The New York Times quotes an administration official as saying airstrikes and not ground action would be the likely response. One of the opposition groups claims Iraq has already used mustard gas to put down the rebellion in a southern Iraqi city. Those reports haven't been independently confirmed. Despite a ruthless government crackdown, the anti-Saddam rebellion is apparently spreading. One opposition group says Kurdish rebels in the north now control military.
You think you're so hip. You think you're so cool. Sir, nothing could be further from the truth. There is a distinct possibility that I might be any one of the codes at one time or another, but not Code 2. Ever. Sure. Damn! Not supposed to use that word. Damn. Well, I'm not supposed to use the caller. He wasn't officially a caller because he was off the air. It doesn't count. Really, well, guy, though. Okay, back to the telephones we go. Where did I leave off? Looks like Crestwood. Hi there, Crest. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Hi.
Hi, I was just, this is my first time listening to you tonight. And I was wondering, I just heard you say that we were going into the dreaded third hour.
Right, the dreaded third hour.
I mean, if you dread it so much, why do you do this then?
Oh, I don't dread it. No, it's competition dread, the third hour.
Do you think, I mean, you kind of answered my question about the codes, that we have to send in a self-addressed envelope in order to find out what they are.
Exactly right.
But don't you think without these coded people listening to you, whether they're 1 through 10, whatever code they are, that maybe you wouldn't have a job if they didn't listen to you?
Oh, no, by no means, or by all means, you're correct. No, I wouldn't have a job.
Then why, as like the last caller, even offer on the air, whatever he was, why did you call him a jerk?
Because he is a jerk.
But without jerks listening to you, would you have a job?
No, not at all.
And if we really wanted to be hip, why are we using codes?
Because that's it. That's the new in thing. I've reinvented talk radio.
Isn't the end thing here to maybe be more adult-like and not be so argumentative about everything, and maybe let people express their opinions without interrupting? You don't like when people interrupt you.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I do allow people to give their opinions when they get off the track and start making things up or whatever. Then I enter the conversation.
But you tell people not to interrupt you, but you interrupt them.
Usually in the course of the conversation, yes, that's what happens. It's a conversation is give and take back and forth. But when somebody has said something 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times and continues to just repeat the same thing, then I do feel not only obligated, but I certainly feel within my rights to forcefully interject if need be.
So maybe you could help me along on this. Do you think this is a good show for me to be listening to?
I don't know, ma'am. I don't think for people.
You don't think for people?
No.
Seems like
Perhaps that's what your problem is. Maybe that's why you're not enjoying the show, because you're used to talk shows where, they do think for you.
No,
I don't.
That's not it at all. But I'm not used to the person on the other end thinking he's the big man on campus, because he's got the button to push to who gets disconnected.
Oh, no, I don't think I'm the big man on campus. No, not at all.
Because you control this whole conversation with
Yes,
a button.
I do, ma'am. That's one of the things that makes me a very good talk show host, is I control my show, where most people who do talk shows...
Why are you on AM,
most people... Why am I on AM? What kind of an asinine question is that?
If you were any kind of a talk show host, maybe you'd be on a real station.
This is a real station, lady. This station's so damned real it hurts.
If it was so real, then how come you've been on the air for so long and I've never heard of you?
Because apparently you live under a rock.
Well, maybe, but let me give you one more code for yourself.
Polish lady is going to try to insult me. She doesn't understand she's up against a professional, and she also doesn't understand that I'm smart enough and quick enough and swift enough to not let her get the last insult in. She's gone. She's been gone for 10 seconds. 591-8900-591-8900 to the North Shore. It is North Huron here, WLS.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, Bob, you disappointed me. All the time I've listened to you, you stop them cold when they talk about leaders. You say, sir, they are our representatives. And that annoys the hell out of me when I hear that word leader. I quit playing father and leader in the second grade. Don't let it happen again, Bob.
Okay. What a nice guy. What a really nice guy. Let's see here. Bowling Brook. Hi there, Bowling. You're on the air at WLS.
I loved that song from the second singer. That was real cute. You could make that your opening number. Also, isn't Stacy Taylor the Mad Dog?
No, ma'am, he isn't. Stacy Taylor shamelessly, when he came to the station, heard the term Mad Dog, tried to muscle in on it and dubbed himself Glad Dog.
Oh, Glad Dog.
Right. See, Stacy Taylor is absolutely terrified of being associated with me in any shape, manner, or form, but he's not afraid to steal my material.
Okay. Well, that's the most sincere form of flattery. I wanted to ask one thing first. What happened? They thought that 2 English POWs were killed by the Iraqis and tortured and killed. Was that ever verified?
Not to the best of my knowledge, as there had been some talk. Actually, I thought they were Americans that had been killed in a bombing run. But apparently, well, let me really be honest with you. I have done my damnedest over the last week to pay as little attention as humanly possible to news out of that region. But to the best of my knowledge, all of the prisoners of war that were thought to exist have been returned. And apparently they were not killed. Either were they English or American.
Okay.
But I wouldn't, don't place money on that. This is coming from a man who's being honest with you. I have tried to avoid news from the area.
Yeah. Well, I watched a lot of what was going on and read the papers, but now that the war is quote-unquote over, now it's really hard to listen to because all I see is we rescued Kuwait partly because of the atrocities that were going on, but now that the Kuwaitis are back, it's like they're killing the Palestinians, and maybe I have it out of proportion, but it seems like they're pretty much indiscriminately taking Palestinians without really checking out to see who they supported, and they're doing them in. And then in Iraq, because we didn't sort of finish the job, I guess I just don't understand the point anymore. I didn't think we should have been in the war, but then I started to think, well, hey, look at how it's going, and it's making sense, and I thought, well, I am behind it. Now I look at what's happening, and we just have a different group of people killing each other, not counting the UN coalition, and it just isn't making a lot of sense to me. They still...
Has there ever been a war that made any sense?
No.
And has there ever been a nice, clean, neat end to any war? None that I can think of. Victors are always horrible in victory. Aggressors are always horrible in aggression. Again, being as honest with you as I know how to be, I lived this damn thing every day for almost 7 months. I had to sit home and think about this. I had to come up with a new angle every day, and it got to the point where I had become so hopelessly despondent just over the entire thing, the futility of it, as well as the unendingness of it. I know that's not a word, but it is now. That I just shut it off for my own good, for my own head, and a lot of the things that I feared initially are going to come true. I get a lot of calls saying, boy, Bob, were you wrong about this one? Ha, 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 ha. No, I wasn't really. I might have been wrong about my fears of the total of U.S. casualties, but so was George, so was Colin, so was Norm. everybody thought the casualties would be far, far higher. My concerns were not so much the war. My concerns were the aftermath of the war.
Yeah.
And we need a few more months yet to see if I was right or wrong.
Yeah. The other thing is, as far as welcoming home the troops, I think that's really neat. But everybody says, well, now we can put Vietnam behind us. But to me, it doesn't negate what we did to the Vietnam vets. And I think that their pain is probably even exacerbated by the fact that they're seeing all these people get what they never got.
Well, I would say this to all of the returning veterans from Desert Storm who apparently think they're going to be treated real well and going to be remembered for a long time. About 2 months ago, George Bush said one of the most despicable things I've ever heard come out of the mouth of a leader. And, you know, outside of maybe 5 or 6 other people in the whole damn country, virtually no one saw the significance of what he said. And what he said was that, this group of troops over in the Persian Gulf were not like guys in Vietnam. This was the cream of the crop. And what that man said in that statement is that the people who fought and died in Vietnam were the bottom of the barrel. They weren't good guys like these. And yet this country supports this man? Yeah, right.
Well, thank you. It was nice talking with you.
Thank you. 591-8900, 591-8900, 15 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock. The dreaded third and final hour. Downtown Chicago. Hi there, downtown. You're on the WLS.
Yeah, Bob?
Yeah?
I think you're going to kill your audience. It was much nicer. It was mean, nasty. I love the service.
Oh, sir, you don't know how mean and nasty I'm being. Wait till you get to your list.
Oh, really? But
I'm saying things tonight with my country code words that I would never have heard to say.
You're too nice. You're too nice. You're too sweet. I like you mean, nasty. I like you going after the little old lady. I like you going after the creep. You were great. I'm rolling around. It's funny. It's funny.
I don't want to force my listeners to have to go out and buy Ovaltine. If they want to, it's a fine product. I have nothing against it, but I'm not going to make my fortune off the backs of my listeners.
Well, I'll just have to put the Ovaltine away. Anyway, the reason I called, you know, for a long, long, long time we had Russia as our enemy. Then we had Ortega in Nicaragua and Noriega, and now Saddam Hussein. And I just wonder, now that this war is over, where do we find our next enemy?
I don't know, man.
Because we seem to have one, you know, just keep all of our...
Having enemies are very important for countries, very important. Not just this one, all countries need enemies.
That's right, and I just wonder where we're going to find the next one, because now we seem to be sort of cozying up to the Middle East.
Have faith in George Bush, man. He'll find one for you.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Anytime. What a nice lady. Don't normally hear the ice cubes tinkling in the background. Kind of makes you feel like you're, having a conversation in a cocktail lounge or something. 591-8900, Carol Stream. Hi there, Carol. You're on the air, WLS.
Hi, Bob. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
We've got a song we've been working on for you, and I thought maybe you'd like to hear it.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
Okay, thanks.
God, we're in one night.
Bob, listen to them all the time. Bob, you're a dude. You're my favorite on Saturday night. Bob.
Maybe somebody could call in and tell me whether or not there's a shortage in the Carol Stream area of female companionship, or whether these guys are just such let's see here, okay kids that they can't get female companionship, and so obviously have to listen to the show on Saturday nights. Deerfield, hi there, Deer. You're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, Mr. Lassiter?
Yes, sir.
I'm glad to get through to you.
all through the war, I think he tried to wake the American people up. I think he did more than anybody else in the country that I heard. I listened all night long when they had that debate, and there was a lot of senators that did make a little bit of sense. Most of them were, I don't know what you'd call it, unbelievable speeches. But I'm positive that this war is not going to be as great as we think it is right now. I think it's going to have all kind of repercussions coming in here, and I think you're right. And that guy was right. All your code words are making people think, which is hard to do.
Well, send away for the listing. You won't have to think.
Yeah, I know it.
You'll have it in a week or so.
Like I say, you're doing a good job, and I hope you keep it up, and I hope America wakes up. But it's pretty hard.
And just remember, when you get your list, somebody accused me of being a Code 2. What do you see what a Code 2 is?
Is that what I asked?
No. Oh. Not to the best of my knowledge. No, I said somebody thought I was a Code 2.
Yeah, I got to get your list, because it's making me think. That's horrible. You know, it's hard on my brain.
You will also, with the list, not only we get the secret words and phrases and the codes, but the rules for the program are also contained on the Mad Dog Lassiter secret word list.
Okay, I hope I didn't break any rules.
No, you haven't.
Okay, I'm glad to talk to you.
Be good.
Bye.
There are only 2 rules, and they're very easy to keep. Very few people keep them.
Hi, this is Rush Limbaugh. Do you believe... I mean, you have to believe it because it's true. There are actually some people in this country who are mad that our troops are coming home victorious. How can you watch this and be cynical about it? But, my friends, there are more people in this country than you'd care to realize who are. But as you watch the returning heroes this weekend, keep in mind that we'll talk about it and a whole bunch of other things Monday at 1 here on WLS Talk Radio 890.
We're WLS Talk Radio 890. Call 591-8900. 591-8900. Now, here's Bob Lassiter.
Okay. Let's talk bluntly and honestly. These off-air calls begging and pleading to either have the list read over the phone, or some of our more high-tech listeners want it faxed to them. It is futile. It will not be done. The reason you are being asked to send a self-addressed stamped envelope is because it requires you to actually do something. It makes you bond with the show. Especially people with fax machines will understand that term, bond with the show. This is a diabolical plot on my part. It is a brilliant thing I have stumbled upon. And there is no way in hell that we're going to read the list to you over the phone or fax it to you. The only way you can get it. I mean, Mr. Tom Turnip doesn't have a copy. Mr. Drew Mays doesn't have a copy. No one in the entire world but Regina, and I will take her copy from her before I leave here tonight. Oh, okay, you can keep it. But I wouldn't take it with you. I'd leave it here in the station. And come upon a shtick like this, and you think I'm going to give it away? You know, just blow it? Whoa, silly people. Oh, yes, I'm trying to drive you insane. And it's working. I mean, do you know what this does to my ego? It makes my heart soar like the eagle when people call up and beg and plead. It's having the effect I wanted it to have. God. Now, let's see, where were we? Champagne, hi there, Champ. You're on the air at WLS.
Hey, Champagne?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I want to say I agree with you totally on the aftermath of the situation. I think there are too many chaotic kind of variables that America just doesn't understand that happens in the Middle East. If you think about 20 years ago, we put up the Shah, or, I don't know how long ago it was. We put up some guy in Iran, and what did it do? It came back and it haunted us.
Well, we put up a couple of them there, actually.
Well, exactly. I mean, not to get into the Bible or anything, but it just, what you reap, you're going to sow. If you set up some bad guys, you're going to get, you're going to get the results later on. And that's why, I have no solution for what's going to happen in the Middle East now, but I know it is extremely complicated. We just don't understand the politics, the mindset, the whole culture over there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But it's that way all over the world, sir. We don't give a damn about anybody except ourselves.
And I think that we, when we go into these kind of situations, we don't take that into consideration. We take more of the, the mathematical, the economics, the military, that kind of stuff into consideration. We don't take into account the popular consideration.
Thank you. 591-8900 to New York it is. Hi there, New. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hi, how you doing? Hey, it's good to get your station this far out here. Sometimes at night it comes in, sometimes it don't.
It's a very far out station, sir.
Yeah. Listen, I like your thing with the codes there.
Good.
Us guys out here in New York, we can stand the strain on the brain a little bit more. We like to think out here. I'm not putting down the Chicagoans tonight. I know it takes a little longer for the sun to rise out there, but it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I got a little joke about Saddam Hussein.
Okay.
Okay. What do Saddam Hussein and his father have in common?
Yeah, I don't know.
Neither one of them pulled out.
Okay. Tickled pink that you called. 591-8900, 591-8900. To a car phone it is. Hi there, car. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob. Bob, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, Bob,
Why you keep saying yes?
I think you're a pompous jerk, and the majority of your listeners are jerks.
Mm-hmm.
That's my opinion.
Okay.
Where do you get this attitude that you think you're something better than thou? Where do you get
something better than who?
Better than thou.
I'm not familiar with this thou guy.
You're a jerk.
Mm-hmm. Well, sir, I might be a jerk.
Talk show?
Sir, how much does this cost?
Show?
Oh, no, sir, I don't think I know I have a great talk show. Probably the best.
You have a great talk show. You're a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
And these people, yeah, Bob, you got a great show. I don't want to think. I love your code. What are you, a jerk?
Mm-hmm. You're code 5, Bobby.
Yeah, code 5, code 7, code 10. You're a whip.
Code 5.
Yeah, well, what am I, a code 2 now?
No, you're not a code. Could be a code 6. Could be a code 8. And could be a code 9. I wonder how much that call cost him. I have no idea what car phone. $1.25 a minute? You think it could be that high? Wow. Unreal. Thank God I let him sit there for a couple of calls. 591-8900, 591-8900 to Creed it is. Hi there, Creature on there, WLS.
Yeah, I have to, just listening to the last listener just called in and was calling you names. And obviously he's also a jerk also because he said that people who listen to your show are jerks, so he was listening to your show. I'm not really sure about the code system you have. I guess there's nothing wrong with the code system, but I think you're a little preoccupied because a lot of people have been bringing up some very good points and issues that I really wanted to listen to. But because it seems that you're preoccupied with the code system, that...
No, sir, I'm not preoccupied with a code system. I have spent 7 months talking about this war. I have heard everything on both sides. I'm frankly bored.
Let's not talk about the war for a while?
Sir, you can't make people not talk about what they don't want to talk about. And you can't keep them from talking about what they do want to talk about. I just have no interest in it whatsoever.
We were talking about religion earlier, too. Mm-hmm. And the guy who brought up the situation with bestiality and all that. And we've been on several subjects, but you were thinking of this code, and some people are asking certain questions or making certain statements. It seems like you might need to have your ears cleaned out because you're not hearing what the questions are, and there's nothing wrong with creating an argument to make the show interesting, but because that's your job. But you're not hearing what some of the questions are.
Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. I've heard every single one of them.
No, because I've been listening to the show.
No, sir. You see, sir, that's one of the things. You see, sir, that's one of. Excuse me, sir. You see, that's one of the things that makes my show so incredibly different from other shows, is that I listen very, very carefully And you see, it's why I'm able to come back and jump on people constantly.
You're jumping on people because you have an illicit said, and you're attempting to make them look silly for calling in and bringing up such a silly subject when it wasn't a silly subject at all. You just misunderstood what their question was.
No, sir, I didn't misunderstand anything.
Yes, you did.
Oh, no, sir, I didn't.
Okay. That's just the comment I try to make. Try not to be too... the code system, that's entertainment. I would agree with it.
That's what my show, sir, is. My show is entertainment. I mean, anybody that thinks that anything gets solved or settled in talk radio is crazy. Anybody that thinks that people listen to talk radio to learn something is crazy.
It's a form of entertainment.
That's right, sir. I'm a master at it.
And I'm not saying whether you are or you aren't. You have a good show, and it's nice that people can call in. But there's been some occasions people have made points and you haven't heard what the point was.
No, sir, you're quite wrong. I've heard everything. I listen very, very carefully. It's how I'm able to consistently nail people, sir, as I listen, which is something you apparently don't do. You don't listen.
Okay. I'm sure other people will call in and agree with what
I don't give a damn if anybody agrees with you, if the whole damn world agrees with you.
Okay.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about.
I'll just go to doctors in your way.
Yeah, right. Why don't you go to GN, huh? 591-8900, 591-8900. They listen to everyone. Downtown Chicago, out of downtown. You're on there at WLS.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm calling about the thing that you called about a couple of weeks ago. I mean, you were talking about a couple of months ago and then last week about women not being able to, well, the first thing you brought up was women should be released from the military because they were too young and not intelligent enough to make an intelligent decision about going in.
No child is, sir. Male or female.
Female you were talking about.
Well, I said no child is, sir. Male or female.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
No child is, male or female.
Is intelligent enough?
That's right, sir. Not at those tender ages.
But then you brought up this week, I believe, you brought up the fact that a woman being able to have an abortion, she was certainly intelligent enough to make an intelligent decision.
That's right, sir.
Oh, so, I mean, it's good for one, not good for the other, huh?
No, one has nothing whatsoever to do with the other, sir.
You're talking about intelligent decisions.
No, sir. One has nothing whatsoever to do with the other. When you're bribed into the military, and then 6 years later are sucked into a silly, stupid war, and you don't want to go, does not equate at all to having a child.
Way off base on that one.
Okay, sir, I'm way off base.
You decided, you made your bed, now you got to lie in it.
Yes,
okay?
Sir. I always lie in my own bed, sir.
Yeah, I know, Bob. Okay, Bob. Good night, Bob.
Okay.
Nice talking to you, Bob.
Right. Take care there.
I hope your cigarette smoking's coming right along.
Live long and prosper, sir. 591-8900, 591-8900. God, I love the third hour. Virginia. Hi there, Virginia. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, I've been listening to you now for several weeks, and I've developed 4 observations that I'd like to get off my chest. Number 1, George Bush is the greatest president of the century. Number 2, I'm quite surprised to find myself actually agreeing with you on your insightful observation regarding the black and blue oppressed people. Number 3, you are really not quite as intelligent as you think you are. And number 4, I, like all of you listeners, have a special device to press you on.
Sure, stop there. 14 minutes. 14 minutes. He told me that she was going to hang up on me. He's now running back to the radio to see what I'm going to say about it. Well, I have a great deal to say about it.
And I think that the aliens are not going to make their appearance into the year 2010.
2010, why then?
I don't know why. I really don't know why. I have no idea why. I think I'm one of those people, you know, that you talked about, that you get abducted in the middle of the night and you have those weird dreams. Because I've read still. Did you ever read the book, The Watchers?
Oh, no, it's on my nightstand. I haven't got around to it.
I know, but I think you've read some of these. I heard you on a different show. Anyhow, and I just think that's my personal prediction that we won't even hear from them until, about 19, 18 years. I just wondered if you had anything you could add to.
No, not at this point. But I'm glad you called. You're one heck of a gal. 591-8900, 591-8900. I've decided, by the way, to this Virginia caller, maybe we'll do it at 11:58. I might have some extra things to say, and we'll need an extra minute. 591-8900. Burr Wynn. Hi there, Burr. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob. Listen, I wonder if you can answer a question for me, if you would. Who was the party that indicated that the people that fought in this war was the cream of the crop, and the ones that fought in Vietnam, me being a Vietnam veteran?
George Bush. George Walker Bush. Yes, he did.
Well, if that was the comment made by our president, I feel sorry for all of us. Because the day I sit in front of the TV and cry for these guys coming home, because I feel bad for my friends that never came home from Vietnam, that's a slap in the face.
Has nothing to do with the guys coming home now, sir. It has to do with the so-called commander-in-chief.
I realize that. You're misinterpreting what I'm trying to say. I feel sorry for
okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry. You're right. I did misinterpret.
And the vets from Vietnam sit in front of the TV and they cry and end up with flashbacks. You got to get a slap in the face from the chief like that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It was a callous thing to say.
You know, that still upset me.
It ought to. Ought to upset everybody.
I appreciate it. And the jerks that are calling up, chewing you out, they've got nothing better to do.
Please, sir, we try not to use language like that on this program. 591-8900. It's the whole reason behind the secret words and phrases. It's to avoid using words like jerk, moron, idiot, old bag, drop dead, that kind of stuff. We don't like to use those words on this program. Champagne. Hi there, Champagne. You're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, hey, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know, is that coding system linear or non-linear?
Neither.
You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean.
Okay, it seemed like 1 and 2 are kind of bad to the general public, but then again, 10 is also bad to the general public.
They're all bad.
Okay.
All of them.
Okay.
There's not a pleasant thing in here.
I'm going to set for the list soon. It kind of confused me because I thought...
No, nor is there any particular ranking. A code 1 is not worse than a code 10.
That's what I mean.
Just the way I thought of them. Okay. It's just whatever popped into my head as I was sitting there at the computer screen this afternoon.
Okay, cool. All right.
Be good.
Take care, Bob.
591-8900. 591-8900. Little frog here on my throat. This time it is Frankfurt. Hi there, Frank. Oops, no, Frankfurt hung up. Too bad. Let's see. In that case, it'll be Roselle. Hi there, Roselle. You're on the air, WLS.
Yeah, you there?
Yeah, I'll be here until midnight, sir.
Okay.
Contractually obligated to be.
Yeah. Well, first of all, about a half-hour ago, you had a lady call in, and she said she'd never heard of you before.
Mm-hmm.
Well...
she wasn't a lady, sir.
Yeah. Well, I'm 10 miles from the Canadian border, and I've never... This is the first time I've actually listened, but I listen to WLS, and I catch your ads all the time. So I've heard of you for months here. But I usually work Saturday nights, so I don't get to listen to you.
Yeah, I have to work Saturday nights, too. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I work at a radio station myself. So, but anyways, what I wanted to ask you is, what do you think of these POWs that come back and they say that they were treated so nice over there and everything, and when we saw them on the videos, they're all scarred up and bloody and...
Well, first of all, the only ones you saw on television were the first batch, the flyers who had been down. And secondly, again, I may not be 100% aware of what is being said by the returning POWs, but what I am aware of hearing is a mixed bag. Some said, well, the first couple of days were rough. After that, it wasn't so bad. Others, people are being treated for malnutrition and things of this nature. Obviously, they were not all treated well. And I've not heard them all say that they were treated well. But...
yeah. Well, I've got to go here, but I want to say, those people that call in and say the J word, well, they really are pretty frivolous. So, but...
right, we don't use language like that on this show.
I really enjoy listening to you, and I hope to catch you again sometime.
Be good. 591-8900, 591-8900. This time it is Glendale Heights. Hi there, Glendale Heights. You're on the air, WLS. Hi.
What's it with this code thing? Aren't you man enough to just say what you have to say to people's faces, or no?
No, I'm not.
Why don't you just say what you have to say?
I do.
Well, you use this code thing. You're all these people don't even know what you're saying to them.
No, they don't.
Behind their back.
That's part of the humor.
Okay, I was just wondering about that. Now I'm eager to find out what those codes mean. I'm going to send in for them.
You'll have to. It's the only way you're ever going to find out.
Okay.
Then you'll be shocked at what I'm saying.
Okay, thanks.
You're an okay kid. 591-8900, 591-8900. 591-8900. Round Lake Beach. Hi there, Round. You're on the air, WLS.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Listen, I mailed my envelope bright and early this morning. Am I going to have to wait for so many people to mail in before I get my list?
Well, I would suspect probably the first mailing will go out on Tuesday. If this works as I think it will, there will be a damn substantial number on Monday and a far more substantial number by Tuesday, and they're going to have to keep up with it on a daily basis.
Just sitting here thinking about this, you know what might be nice is for you to autograph the very first letter you get. Just for us true listeners who... I jumped on it, Bob.
That's reasonable.
I filled out the envelope last night. If it wasn't so cold, I would have mailed it last night.
That's reasonable, and I'll even make it more reasonable. You see, I have originals that I printed up myself on my computer system, but the letters that will be going out are going to be photocopies of the original. But the very first one that goes out will be an original. There are 5 originals. I printed 5 of them. And it will be an autographed original, and whoever gets a clearly, because it's on buff bond paper, will know that they are the first listener to actually have the very first one that went out.
Hey, I'm still waiting for Rocky.
Rocky?
Yeah, your caller from Florida?
No, that's Mr. Airstream.
Mr. Airstream?
I mean, Mr. Airstream was Rocky.
Oh, okay.
But he was doing this character that night, Mr. Airstream.
All right, well, we're still waiting, and fraud, Bob.
591-8900, 591-8900. Elmhurst. Hi there, Elm. You're on there at WLS.
First of all, I want to let you know, Gulfstream, there are a lot of fine women. And also...
they must just be jerks.
Excellent! Take the ball! My page!
Hey, live long and prosper, guys. Live long and prosper in spades. Rogers Park. Hi there, Rogers Park. You're on the air at WLS.
Yeah, hi, Bob.
Hi.
Maybe part of the reason you don't want to talk about the war anymore, could it be your side lost?
My side didn't lose, sir. My side won.
Just a thought, and the other thing where you...
No, it's not just a thought, sir. It's a very cheap and stupid way of trying to insult me, but it didn't work.
No, I've been listening to you so much, it sounds like you were doing a big special some nights.
Really?
Yes.
It's amazing. I don't work at nights, I work in the afternoons.
Well, afternoon, night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah, if you're making it up as you're going along, what difference does that make?
Hey, Bob, the other thing where you said you're a master at what you do, I think you're more of a beta.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll bet you think a lot about masturbation. 591-8900. You see what a master I am, sir? 591-8900. Ashcombe. Hi there, Ash. You're on the air, WLS. Hi.
This coach that you got, I kind of like it. It's enjoyable and intriguing. But now when a certain amount of people write in, are you going to make up new ones and have that ongoing thing?
No, though I do have additional ideas for the Mad Dog Lassiter Club, but not, there may be enhancements, but I have other ideas. No, these will stay. These are all things that I normally say.
Yeah, right.
These are all out of my normal, what is it, lexicon? Is that the right word? I think it is.
Well, I haven't been listening, for an awfully long time, but I do enjoy it, and you keep me company, and I'm very interested in receiving them and finding out what they are. I like it.
I think it's a good idea, and I think that, by and large, you people will agree with me.
Right, I do.
I dub some of the code, whatever.
Okay, have a good evening.
You too. 591-8900, 591-8900. Oh, my God. Ton of drop-offs in the last minute. Whoa. A lot of people thought they were going to have to wait until, and wouldn't get on at the end of the show. It's not the case anymore. 591-8900. The Nortner painfully non-twinkling for the moment to the northwest side. Hi there, Northwest. You're on the air, WLS.
Bob, the code idea states you're going to lose market share. Forget it.
Sir?
Yeah.
Since I've been in this business for 21 years, I probably know a hell of a lot more about it than you do, The idea doesn't stink. It's a great
I got to
idea.
listen to codes and I got to look up in the book, it's off to GN again. I mean, you saved me from them people. I was muddled in stupidity listening there. You made me think.
You know, I'm coming. I think you're a code 7. We haven't had a code 7 yet tonight.
7?
Yeah, but I think you might be a code 7.
Am I lucky 7?
I don't know how lucky you are, sir, but...
Well, I got in to talk to you. I must be lucky.
Code 7.
But, Bob, get rid of the codes. You drive me crazy with codes.
No, I'm not going to get rid of the codes.
Scream. I like it. Okay?
And you're also probably a code 5, too.
5 and 7?
Yeah.
What is that, like 9?
No, sir. A code 5 and 7, if you were adding them up, that would be 12.
12?
But there isn't a code 12. You're a code 5 and a code 7.
Think, Bob. You make me think.
If I were you, I'd write away for them, because when you find out what a code 5 and a code 7
Bob,
is...
you're driving me to GN again. Bob, you're driving me to GN. Don't do it to me.
Code 5 all the way.
All right, that's 9 again, isn't it?
591-8900, 591-8900. He will be amused when he finds out what a code 5 is. By the way, hang on there, Virginia. It's only another 12 minutes till I lambast you. Sean Berg. Hi there, Sean. You're on the air at WLS.
Hi, Mad Dog.
Hi, how you doing?
Do you know how I can get the address again from you?
Sure, no problem. It's the Mad Dog Lassiter Club.
Okay.
Care of WLS Radio, 190 North State Street, Chicago, zip code 60601.
Thanks a lot, Bob.
Anytime. 591-8900, 591-8900.
WLS Talk Radio 890. Now, more of Bob Lassiter.
By the way, one of the things that I'm most proud of, most pleased with Mad Dog Lassiter's secret word list is the appearance of it. And those of you who send in for it and who know anything at all about WordPerfect 5.1, I defy you. I absolutely defy you to reproduce the box around the list of codes. I defy you to do that. That is an accomplishment that I'm so damn proud of, I can't see straight. To Michigan City, Indiana. Hi there, Michigan City. You're on the air. Michigan City, Indiana once. Some strange reason, I think the pot might not be turned up. Oh, pity poo. Pity, pity poo. Oh, my dear. Oh, that okay kid from Michigan City, Indiana used language that is not even on the secret word list. Things must be lonely in Michigan City, Indiana. I remember being young. It was a long, long time ago, but I remember being young. And I remember feeling so powerless in the world. And, having so little influence. Nobody listened to me. Nobody paid any attention to me. I remember once thinking about calling up a radio station and trying to say a naughty word on the air. Yes, I'm ashamed to admit that, but I remember it. Okay, Rogers Park. Hi there, Rogers. You're on the air, WLS.
Hello, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I remember a while back you said that you played kazoo with Ric Flair, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah, good buddy of mine.
Is that true, or... And if
sure, well, you think I'd lie about something like that?
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to believe. I mean, you being who you are and then he being who he is, I mean, where did your paths cross?
Well, this was before he got into wrestling and before I got into radio, and we were both young men in Greenwich Village in New York. And
did he have blonde hair then, or?
No, he didn't. No, his hair was natural. It's kind of a light brown, is what it really is. But he and I used to blow kazoo at the village of Andover.
Was he still the Nature Boy?
No, he hadn't become the Nature Boy. But this is a long, long time ago, and we were both, just kind of kicking around the village.
Wow. Another question I have real quickly.
Sure.
Did you by any chance? I know that you're calling yourself the Mad Dog now. I was just wondering.
Well, I've always been the Mad Dog, sir. I stopped calling myself the Mad Dog for a while.
I'm sorry. Well, I was just wondering if you got that from Mad Dog Deshawn?
No, sir. It came from a little old lady in Tampa, Florida. It was 5 years ago.
Okay, was she a sweetheart?
Yes, she was a sweetheart.
Okay, listen, thanks a lot, Bob.
Anytime. 591-8900, 591-8900 to Tampa, Florida. It is Loader Tampa. You're on the air, WLS.
Hi, am I on?
Yes, you're on, sir.
Okay, well, I can't hear you through my phone, but I hope I'm not interrupting when you talk or anything, because I can't hear what you're saying. But you got a call earlier that had to do with, I think a lady made a comment to the effect that if you were successful or a hot talk show host, you wouldn't be on AM radio. I guess she doesn't realize that AM radio is talk radio. And from my understanding of it, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but unfortunately I don't think I can hear your voice. But the next step up the ladder in success today is syndication on AM radio. That is getting onto other stations across the country.
Not necessarily.
And probably she also does not understand what it takes to do that nowadays. From my reading of the situation, I'd like to get your response on this. Today, the way for anyone who wants to get big in syndication in AM radio, the formula seems to work tremendously well, is to wrap yourself in flag and become a...
well, first of all, hello. No, this is hopeless. Can't hold a conversation with a guy that pretends he can't hear you, and there's no reason why he can't. Everybody else on that line has. But the truth of the matter is, there are some people that make incredible money in syndication, and there's some people who don't make as much as medium market people make. I had a syndication deal offered to me. It's going to be called Talk of America. It never came together. However, the syndication deal would have paid me less than I'm earning here if I was on over 250 stations and at least 25 of the top 50 markets. It was a very complicated deal. It started out with a base salary of $35,000 or $37,000. That was the base. And for each market, there was an additional amount of compensation. And for the size of the market, there were variables in the compensation. And I would have had to have... I don't think I could have possibly earned as much as I'm earning here. And this was a deal worked out through attorneys and agents and so forth and so on. If you are in syndication and you have been there for years and years and years, like Larry King, you make a lot of money. If it's relatively new, you don't. To a car phone that is either car, you're on the air at WLS.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, Bob. This is Chicago talk show? I'm calling from down south. I gather from what I hear from you, it doesn't sound like you approve of the way that America handled the war with Iraq?
No, sir, nothing could be further from the truth.
Oh, you're behind it then?
No, sir, nothing could be further from the truth. I didn't care for the way George handled it.
Well, I can't disagree with you there. What about Saddam Hussein's weapons of mass destruction? Why do you think they never materialized?
I have no idea. No idea at all. It's going to, the whole way he conducted the war is going to be one of the great stories of our time if we ever get it.
How about the motivation of the United States government, why they got into it? Do you think that the weapons that he either had or might have had played a big part in it?
My dear young friend,
I think it's a real good idea if you do it for a couple of months.
Tragedy, they don't understand that tall waiting and they're just being cut out left and right. I can't stand the noise. Oh, by the way, Virginia, less than 2 minutes now. 591-8900, 591-8900. Barrington, hi there, Barry, you're on there at WLS.
Yeah, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a warning for you. Okay, I hope you'll take this seriously. There's a guy on the other station who's copying you left and right. Okay, his name is Ed Stone. I think he has to be disposed of.
No, sir, he has such a pathetically small audience. My knowledge of those young folks again trying using naughty words on the radio. Oh, gosh, golly gum. Young folks don't understand about things like high technology called delay. To the north side, north of the WLS. Only a minute and a half to go, Virginia. North side.
Yeah, I got a top 10 list of why left among better. I'll go through real quick. Rush isn't a liberal. Number 10, number 9. Rush is not as fast. Number 8.
And that's where he's cross-battered.
Rush, he's on most bases, 248 more. Number 7, Rush doesn't use stupid phones.
299.
Number 6, Rush has more commercials. He's better.
Number 5, doesn't have more commercials.
Rush doesn't always talk about computers. Number 4, Rush was for the war, unlike you. Number 3, Rush never spent 3 hours about skateboarding. Number 2, Rush is a Republican. Number 1, Rush supports our president.
Well, actually, sir, you're wrong on several of them. I'm also a Republican. And Rush weighs about 40 to 50 pounds more than I do. And, you know, he has very few commercials, so they're our commercials that run in his show. He has almost none. Oh, Virginia! Virginia! It's time for you, baby. You want to crank that radio up, Virginia? You have any possible way of taping this, huh? You hasty? You got any way of taping it, Virginia? I'll tell you what, I'll give you 15 seconds before I start in on you to get your tape up and running, okay? Down to, 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't have a damn thing to say about you, Virginia. Just suckered you into listening for another 12 minutes. That's all. You thought you were going to outsmart me. Holy cow, here it is at the end of the show already. My goodness, time to move on home. You guys go do what you do, I do what I do. We'll be back again on Monday with Mad Dog Lassiter's secret word list. It's in effect now from now on. If you want it, you got to send in for it. It's the only way you're going to get it. Don't beg, don't plead. No way, Jose, will it be given out, except if you send in a self-addressed, stamped envelope. The only possible way. And you will find out how mean and nasty I can really be. Whoa! You won't believe some of the things I've been saying tonight. Hey, love you, Chicago.